Welcome to After School Hub. We'll be bringing you all the activities you love right into your living room. So, let's get cracking.
Hi, RTÉ Upcycled Hub. Today we're doing some experiments. Have you been up to space? Please let me know, as I really want to go to that amazing place. I want to be the first girl to walk on the moon. 3, 2, 1. Did you know that electricity is an energy that flows from a power station to our homes? We have learned how to identify constellations, how scientists discover new planets, and how they figure out if life can survive on these planets. Wow, look! It's amazing!
Squeeze into your scoop and gently rise back up.
Volcano!
agus Bátarov After School Hub is mission Moonsar Cliana. Today we are going to become engineers and investigate the strength of paper. Let's go. So to start, all you need is paper, tape, scissors, and some books. We are going to make a paper book tower experiment this week to see which shape and which height of paper is the strongest. So we'll fold paper into squares. So I'm going to fold it in half, and then I'm going to fold that again. So I'm actually making a cuboid. So I'm going to fold it out this way. Here we are. And then I'm going to put some tape on it to try to hold it together. Now, so here is my cuboid of paper. I'm just going to tape it like that and see what works. Now, okay, so I've done my cuboid of paper. Next, I'm going to do my cylinder, so kind of circle. Oops, nice and taut. There we go. So that is my my cylinder done. And then finally, I'm going to make a prism. So I'm going to make a rectangular-based prism. So I've got it folded in 3 parts, and all I do is I kind of make a triangular shape at the end of it. So now what I'm going to do next is I'm going to stand them up. We're going to add height, okay? So we're going to add another component and we're going to test the height of it as well. So I'm going to put a piece of paper on top, and I'm going to put a book on it and see which one holds the best. Okay, you ready? Let's see this one. Okay, so that one isn't working. Let's try another one. Again, not happening. And this one, hey, that seems to be working, doesn't it? Let's see how many more books I can add on before it collapses. Let's see what's going to happen. Is it going to hold? It's kind of like Jenga. So you're just very carefully testing. Keep going. It looks like it's holding really well, doesn't it? We'll have to see now, because I have heavier books here now, so this could be it. So yeah, so that's it. Actually, to be fair, it held quite a lot. So the shape that worked the best, my cuboid didn't work at all. My rectangular-based pyramid is somewhere on the ground, so that absolutely did not work. But my circular one did, okay? So my cylinder did work. Let's see if I cut this in half. So if it's only half the height, is that going to make a difference? So I'm just going to cut this, snip this right down the middle. Now, So I have 2 of them now. Okay, so let's see. So we're going to put them together, and I'm going to put a sheet of paper over like I did before. Now, let's start. Okay, it's holding it. Keep going. It's holding it. It's holding it. It's holding it. So I'm nearly out of all my little books, so let's see what happens. Oop! So it didn't even hold all my little books. Now, what could be the problem? What could we do? Do you know what we could do? We could make 4 of them and see if that makes it any better, because we still haven't managed to make them stand. So I'm going to do my normal cylinder again, and then I'll cut it in half the way I did before. Tape there. Now, if you don't have tape at home, you can use a bit of glue or whatever you have that might stick them together. So I'm going to cut these in half once again. Oops. Now, so I'm going to put 4 together now and see what happens. So I'm going to put a piece of paper on top. Okay, start with 1 book. Okay. 2 books. 3 books. 4 books. 5 books. 6 books. 7 books. Okay, now these are the heavy ones. So I'm not too sure what's going to happen here now. Whoop! No. So I have one more idea. So we've tried 4 of them, and 4 of them does seem to work quite well, I have to say. But maybe if we rolled the paper tighter, maybe that'll make a difference. So I'm just going to pop those down there for the second, and I'm going to roll 4 of them a little bit tighter. And tap, tap, tap. So I'm going to make 4 of these now. And of course, not forgetting my piece of paper on top. Okay, let's try 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, now here's the test, the heavy books. 8. 9. So what did we find? We found that the cylinders work well. They probably work the best, but only if they're rolled tightly enough so that there's a few layers of paper supporting the books. And we also, of course, used our lovely sheet of paper on top to make sure that the weight was distributed evenly and it kept the cylinders in place and stopped them from wobbling a little bit more than they normally would have. And I hope you enjoy testing the strength of paper. Why not send us in your findings and any other tricks you come up with to support the books? Slán!
Hey there everybody, it's Kira here again, and today I'm going to show you a really cool hack that surprisingly not a lot of people know about. So you're in on a secret. Shh, don't tell anyone. Have you ever found yourself in a bit of a sticky situation where either something leaks in your bag or you just run out of room? Because I know I have. Well, this DIY hack is here to help save the day. For this trick, you will need a hoodie and whatever school supplies you might carry. Place all your items into the middle like this. Then, wrap them up as tight as you can using the hood to secure. Pull the drawstrings tight and into a knot on top. Then, fasten your sleeves into big straps, just like I'm doing here. Tie them into a double knot to secure it best. And there you have it, a brand new bag. This look is both cool and stylish, and it makes my regular bag lighter to carry. So I hope you all really enjoyed this trick, and I'll see you all in the next Hope Hacks video. Bye guys!
Oh, lovely. Very nice. Now, how are you? You're probably wondering, you know, who I am, but, you know, not really, because, you know, I've been on Ireland's Got Talent, and I've been on like Late Late Show, and, you know, I've done like stand-up all over the world, and I've done it for your mum and your dads and your grannies, and a lot of people do come up to me and go, oh my God, my ma thinks you're really funny, and then that makes me feel really old. Yes, I am Jason Byrne. A lot of people would have went, oh, you're that judge on Ireland's Got Talent, you used to say Deadly. Yeah, I did, but now I'm writing children's books. See that? Look at that. And to be a writer is like another thing. You might be thinking, oh my God, I could do that. Yeah, you can. Everybody can write a book. Everybody has a book in them, so you can do that. This is called The Accidental Adventures of Onion O'Brien, okay? He's based on me. So you'll see him here. You can kind of just grasp him here, right? So he's about 11 or 12 in these books, and all his mates are as well. And when I was about that age, what happened to me was I had this brilliant... I used to look at that as a really cool thing. My eye used to basically turn in, right? And it was called a lazy eye, right? And then what the doctors did was that they put a patch over my good eye, which made my lazy eye apparently work harder. Writing a book, you know, it's like everything else. You have to learn, right? You have to learn it. So how you write a children's book, first of all, is you puke it out onto the page. Like, I don't mean you actually do that. Like, don't actually eat paper and then puke it out. And don't actually eat words and puke them out. I mean, you know, metaphorically speaking, I just mean you just throw a load of ideas onto a page. Then it's sent to a very important person. And that very important person basically looks at it and puts loads of red lines through it and sends it back to and goes, Jason, really, you're gonna have to, you know, make that a little bit simpler, a little bit easier. So that's what you do there. And then you hook up with a guy who's called an illustrator. And my illustrator is Oisin McGann. So when you write a story, like, you need to exaggerate. I had an idea of that, you know, Onion goes and visits some old people, and that would just be the book. You know, you can't just go, once upon a time, Onion visited some old people. See, you can't do that. So what you do is you exaggerate it, and then you come up with a whole big book. You add loads of things on it. Bells and whistles, children. Bells and whistles. That's what you need. Not actual bells and whistles. Don't get a piece of paper and stick real bells and whistles onto something. And bells and whistles just means just add on a load of stuff. And the book just grows and grows and grows and grows, and the story just gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger till it just bursts into a book like this. And it's really cool. So that's my tip, guys. Exaggerate literally everything. So there you go, kids. Best of luck, and please enjoy my book. Like even if you're not enjoying it, just go like this. Thanks, kids. Love you all.
Hi, my name's Grace, and today we're going to be finding out if things in my house are acids or bases. We're going to be using red cabbage to make a special indicator. I've just added water to the cabbage, and now my mom's going to help me boil it. I've always wondered if there's any difference between shampoo and conditioner. I think vinegar will make a strong reaction. If it's closer to red or pink, it means it's an acid. But if it's closer to green or yellow, it means it's most likely a base. But if it's blue or purple, it means neutral. The acids are cream of tartar, vinegar, shampoo, lemon juice, and cola. There was only one neutral, conditioner, and the bases are toothpaste and bread soda. It's the strongest. You can see that it's a little bit yellow.
That's it for now, but don't go anywhere. We have lots more fun and activities after the break.
Chemicals are everything.
Welcome back to After School Hub. Don't forget to send us all your videos and photos. Go to rte.ie/learn.
Hello, After School Hub. When I come home from school, I like to skip.
I love to pretend I have a dirt bike, and I like doing stunts.
When I get home from school, I like to dance.
We love to go to the woods. Our favourite time to go to the woods is autumn. Whee!
After school, we love to play with our Lego.
When I come home from school, I like to play with my toy diners. This one is my favourite.
I like to do my gymnastics with my gymnastics coaches on Zoom because we can't go because of COVID.
Bye!
Hello, and welcome to my dark space today, because this is what we're going to do today. We're going to work with some light, well, some fire. We're doing a fire experiment. I am Phil, and I am in my space today, but this is an experiment that you can do with responsible adults. You have probably done this type of reaction, but in a different way or related to something else. We are going to be mixing baking soda and vinegar, which you normally might use for a volcano type experiment to get the bubbles to come up. But what we want to talk today is actually the chemical reaction that happens, and introduce you to what happens when you mix two things together. Because you always get something that is produced at the end of it, and it might not necessarily be what you had at the very start. We are going to talk about fire extinguishers, and various fire extinguishers you might see around your school, different buildings, and you'll see on the side of them, some of them have foam, some of them have other things, and even some of them have CO2 written on it. And what CO2 means is carbon dioxide, so carbon and two oxygens. And carbon dioxide is after you breathe in oxygen, and your lungs do their thing, and their blood brings it round, and it comes back out. When you breathe out carbon dioxide. It is a safe, natural chemical gas that is around everywhere. But it is also very useful for putting out fires. So for fires, there is a fire triangle, and you need three things for it to be able to burn. You need heat, a fuel, and some oxygen for it able to be combust. And what we are going to do today is we are going to use, because I have fire here, and it is lighting me greatly, we are going to use this reaction of vinegar and bicarbonate of soda to be able to mix things together. They have a chemical name after it, that they mix together, but they produce carbon dioxide. And you might have seen this happen, like I said, in reactions when you do the volcano. So I'm going to take bicarbonate of soda, also known as baking soda, and when I add vinegar to it, which is an acid, when I mix this in here, you'll see that it fizzes. It raises up, rises up, raises up, rises up, and inside each of these bubbles is some carbon dioxide. And I've measured it perfectly that it should just stop at the top and not overspill. I mean, like, I've done this really a lot. Phew, I was about to lose my reputation as a measurement scientist there. But inside this, the bubbles are bursting, but the carbon dioxide is staying in the glass because it is heavier than air. It sits down the bottom, so it doesn't want to flow up all over the place. And when I have it like this, and I pour out the carbon dioxide inside here, you see it goes out, because the carbon dioxide is one of the things that you don't need for fire. For fire, you need oxygen, you need fuel, and you need heat. So if you pour the carbon dioxide, the air, which is made up of the gas, the carbon dioxide, is heavier than air, so it sits at the bottom and it pours out like a liquid. When you're in your school and you see a fire extinguisher that has CO2 on it, when you pull that and aim it at a fire, it's pushing away the oxygen. Or if you have a water one and that you fire it at a fire, it takes away the heat, or even washes away some of the fuel, or even pushes away some of the oxygen. Now, I want to show you this a little bit bigger, because we always want to try things a little bit bigger. So for this, I have a bigger jug filled with more of the same chemical, bicarbonate of soda, and I have a bigger amount of vinegar. So we're going to mix them together. Now, what do we think is going to happen when I mix these two together? We've already seen it happen. Exactly. So we should be seeing bubbles happening. So when I pour this in, we should see bubbles, and they should be carbon dioxide filled. And you're going to see that same fizz, that bubbly reaction. So inside each of these bubbles is carbon dioxide. And then I'm going to lift up this tray, which I have a load of candles in. And it is sloped towards me. So when I pour the carbon dioxide in here, not the liquid, the gas, it should travel down and extinguish the candles. Should. But this is an experiment. We don't know if it's going to happen, but let's give it a go. So, there we go. See this side, they're gone out. They're gone out this side. You can see the smoke from them. No liquid is coming out, but the gas is going out. All of them going out. Going out. I'm going to pour them here, this one. Oh, I've only one left. One left. No, we'll use the old-fashioned way for this one. Perfect. Because even with blowing air, you're pushing away what is used, or you're cooling it down, or you're even pushing away oxygen for it to keep igniting. Simple things with carbon dioxide. Chemicals are everything, and understanding them and knowing how they work in the world, and even seeing it in practical, happening in real life, in your school, seeing how a carbon dioxide fire extinguisher works, means that you are understanding science technology. And when you go to design your next adventure, and your next invention, you can figure out what you need to do to make it all happen and make your life safe. Perfect. And also you can make dramatic entrance and exits like this if I slip into the darkness. Check out www.rte.ie/learn. Lots of lesson plans. Am I in the dark? I don't know, so I'll just run off this way.
Oh, if anything, this weather machine is working too well. I can't see a thing. Hey, MC, where are you gone? Oh, is anybody there?
Hello?
Huh? Whoa, that was absolutely amazing. Oh, you're very welcome to the shed. You see, me and MC, we built this wonky old weather machine the other day. It was very sunny yesterday, but then today it was really foggy. And then I lost MC, and then I lost everybody. And I don't even know who you are. Who are you?
Well, firstly, I can't understand a word you're saying.
What are you clicking their fingers for? What? Why are you shaking? What happened to you? Why are we choking? I've lost my accent and you're all about as like a couplet. What?
That's much better.
I don't want to talk like that. Here, who are you?
My name is Mary Fitzpoppins, and I was frolicking through a bit of fog and I got caught in a climate calamity. Ended up near your, well, shambles of a shack. And I tried to fix the weather, but I think before we get to that, I think a spot of cleaning up might be more important.
Oh, no, not cleaning up is my least favourite job in the whole world.
Quite. But don't worry, I have quite the fix.
Oh, my stuff is gone!
Well, my clicks are designed to clear away rubbish.
That's not tidy as empty! I need all that stuff for looking after the after-school hub. What if Muntor Clean and needed a pine cone or something?
Why would she possibly need a pine cone?
I don't know, for Muntor stuff, you know, like a history lesson or something.
Pine cones through the ages.
Yeah, hey, listen up, McStuffins, just bring it back, okay?
It's Fitzpoppins, and Martin, if you really want to, I can return them.
Yeah, come on, bring it back now!
All right.
Oh, everything's back! Not exactly how it was, but it's still pretty good.
Well, it's quite clear you're a pine Martin who likes collecting lots of things.
Oh, that's right.
You've given me an idea. I have lots of random stuff rattling about at the bottom of my bag. I think you might be interested in.
Oh, yeah, lash it out there, yeah.
Let's see.
Can't wait to see what you got.
I don't have the match to this, but a Wellington?
What else you got?
Oh, well, this is a mandolin. I think it's not quite in tune, but oh, this is fantastic. It's a supercalifragilisticexpialidocious stick.
Oh, what does it do?
Will you whack things with it?
Oh, yeah, I'll definitely use that. Yeah. Oh, that's really good.
Then we have a brush. And then, do you have a freezer around here? This one you might need to do a bit of rearranging.
Pretty big bag you got there. Oh, MC is going to absolutely love this.
Ooh.
I must get one of these bags. Oh, look at that. Listen, we'll see you later on. Keep going there, Mary.
Good afternoon, everybody, and here we are on After School Hub. Now, I have a little thing for you today, and it's inspired by the Rediscovery Centre where we are, and it's all about zero waste. Let's get started. Here we have a milk carton. Now, this would normally be heading into the recycling, or some people might even be throwing it in the bin. No way. What we're going to do with this today is we are going to reimagine it. So we are going to make a bird feeder. And remember, we did a class in the spring all about the birds that visit us in the garden. Well, we're going to build those birds a bird feeder. So, what have I got? I've got some duct tape, I have a scissors, I have a sharp pencil, I have these skewers that I'm going to use for the little birds to perch on. I have some cord, and I have some wild bird seed, and I'm ready to go. I've got good company as well. Okay, so the first thing that I did was I cut off the bottom of this milk carton. In a while, I'm going to reinforce it with duct tape. But first, I'm going to make some holes because I'm going to suspend this from the branch of a tree. It's going to need some holes for some cord to loop around. I'm going to make 4 holes, like so. I made 2 on this side and 2 holes opposite. Now, I'm also going to need a place down here near the middle where our skewers are going to go through so our little birds can perch. Right here, make this hole nice and big for the skewers to go through. Starting to reimagine our milk carton and imagine what our bird feeder is going to look like. Okay, let's recap so far. Cord, cord, and then this is going to be our perch. And the exact same on the other side. Now, if I put this outside as it is, it'll probably get damp and soggy and our bird feeder would fall apart. So I'm going to use this duct tape to reinforce it. So it'll be durable out in the weather. And I'm going to just pretty much wallpaper the outside. Okay, that goes along like that. And while we're doing this, let's think back to some of the birds that we spoke about back in the springtime. We spoke about the sparrow. We spoke about the blue tit and the blackbird and the spidog, the robin, and the lasarhuile, the chaffinch we spoke about. So when I have my bird feeder built, I hope to see all my old friends visit me again. Now, eventually I'm going to reinforce the bottom of this as well, but for now I'm going to continue making our bird feeder. Now, remember we punched our holes in our bird feeder? I'm going to punch the holes in the duct tape now as well. So now I have a much stronger bird feeder and there are 3 holes on each side. Now, let's move on. First, I'm going to use string to make our little loops so we can hang our bird feeder on the branch of a tree. Okay, so I have 2 lengths of string that I have cut to the same length because, hey, I don't want a crooked bird feeder, do I? Now, let's feed this in here. Actually, do you know what? It's kind of finicky to get this string right in there, so I'm going to use the pencil to force it through. There it goes. And I'm going to tie a little knot in there. Now, this is just one example of reusing, recycling. Do you think that the little birds, when they visit the garden, that they're going to be aware that the person who left out the food for them is really caring about nature and wants to do as much as they can to help them out? Well, I hope they know. Now, here we go. We have one side of our bird feeder. And now we're going to do the exact same on the other side with this piece. And now we have our 2 string loops, perfect for hanging our bird feeder on a twig. Now, at this point, I'm just going to tidy up my bird feeder a little bit. I have a little bit of extra duct tape around the top, so I think it'll be really nice and tidy if I just tuck that in. Now, it's time for us to add our perch. Have a look at these 2 skewers now, and I've just stuck them together. So let's see, I'm going to go in from this side. Here we go, in along and out the other, right through, here we go. Now, okay, and our loops go around. Yep, they're starting to take shape now, and our perches seem really long, don't they? But maybe the birds can form an orderly queue for the bird feed. Yep, off you go, lads. So, here we go, lay that out there. Now, I can just spoon in the wild bird feed. Here we go. So what have we got here? We've got some seeds, lots of different grains. And of course, it's the winter time too. So if there's a hard frost on one of these autumn time or winter mornings, the birds will be thrilled to see a nice bowl of bird feed waiting for them. And they can climb up onto the perch and trot on over and have a nice munch. Now, I'm going to go outside and find a branch to hang this from. And then, I'm going to sit around and see who comes to visit. Have a go yourself. I'd love to see photos or even videos of who comes to visit your bird feeder. All right. Slán, see you next time.
Do these small things to make a big difference. This is a power switch. It's connected to the cooker. So, when you finish cooking, seems about done, you turn it off. This one's kind of obvious, but you should turn off the lights before you leave a room.
That's it for now, but don't go anywhere. We have lots more fun and activities after the break.
He's running around on a landing and he's covered in chocolate. He thinks it's poo. Hi, I'm Jason Byrne, author of The Accidental Adventures of Onion O'Brien. But I don't only do that, I'm also a stand-up. And what is that? Well, it's getting out in front of an audience and making them laugh. That's what a stand-up is. And here's some of my top tips on how to be a stand-up. Whoa, I wish I'd seen this when I was a kid. So tip number 1, exaggerate your stories. Well, and what I mean by that is when you have a funny story, you can make it bigger and bigger and bigger by just adding stuff on. It doesn't have to be true. As long as it's funny, that's how you do it. You just write stuff on. So start with a small story and then just make it bigger and funnier. Like, for example, when I was a kid, my dad, he went to bed, right? And he fell asleep. But we went to bed with a chocolate bar and he left it beside him in the bed. And then when he woke up, the chocolate bar had all melted in the bed and he thought he pooed himself. And yeah, that's kind of a funny enough story, but it's not long enough. So what I did was I exaggerated the whole story. So what I said to exaggerate the story, I said that I had put chocolates on his chest because he was too lazy to take them out of the packet, so he just put them on his hairy chest, which is not true. I kind of just made it up, so the hairy chest was funny, and then when he woke up, they'd melted all over his body instead of just a little mark on his sheet. So now it sounds like the chocolate's everywhere, and it sounds like he's pooed himself all over the camp. That's how you exaggerate the story, just like make it bigger and bigger, and then afterwards he's running around on the landing and he's covered in chocolate. He thinks it's poo. My mom's chasing him. So just make it bigger and bigger and bigger. So that's all you have to do. Exaggerate the story. Tip number 2, what type of comedian are you? So there's loads of different styles of comedy. Like people go, oh, is it not just like telling a joke? No, not really. You can be a comedian like that. You can, stand in your living room and like tell your family like a joke. That's great. Or you can be like sketch comedy, which is where like loads of comedians get together, and they get like a group, or you can get together with your friends or your family and you make up a little sketch where you're all talking in it and you're all doing really cool different things. You can do you can be a one-liner comedian who just comes out and just bashes out one-liners. Like for example, like a one-liner would be like 2 fish in a tank, and one says, "How do you drive this thing?" See, that's a one-liner. So they're not actually in a fish tank, they're in an army tank. I know, you're looking at me going, there's no need to explain, Jason. We get it. And then you can be like, you can do different characters. Like a lot of people like to do old men or women or anything like that, or you can be the maddest character ever. I've seen a comedian go on stage and pretend he was a horse. So you can do anything you want, but you won't know till you try it all out. That's like everything in life. Once you try it out and you feel like it's good, then that's the comic you want to be. So number 3, and it's a whopper, nerves. How do you deal with your nerves? Like, I've seen comedians before I was a comedian doing comedy, and I was going, how is he doing that? You're not like totally nervous. The butterflies must be racking around inside them. So it's okay to be nervous. That's the one thing I've learned over my whole career. I'm doing comedy a long time, and still I get nervous. And it's good to be nervous. That means that you care. Like, don't go on stage like this. Don't be this nervous. Don't be going on going, when I was in the shop the other day, and the man was dead, because you make the audience nervous. So, just control your nerves. So before you go on, just, accept the fact that you're nervous. That's how it works. You just go, okay, the butterflies are flying, I have to go out and do this, okay, but I have to do it. So just go out and pretend you're not nervous. That's how it works. But you will be nervous. So just rock out there, and then if you pretend that you're not nervous, then that's easy. Then off you go. Just don't be quivering. So there you go. There's some top tips on how to be a comedian. Now get out there and make people laugh, but not too far, because you might be in lockdown. So go down to the sitting room and make people laugh. Or maybe not even there. Maybe that's too far as well. So get out of your bed and shout out the window and make people laugh.
Why was 6 so scared of 7? Because 7, 8, 9.
And lastly, a stepladder. Although I feel like I could use this right about now.
Well, I'll tell you what, this is great stuff altogether, Mary. Yeah, we need all this. Oh, but you know, I kind of have to get it organised, so... Oh, you know the clicky thing?
Oh, why, yes.
Yeah, could you get all this stuff and just stick it into MC's car? It's just parked outside.
Certainly.
Whoa. Whoa.
Who is this MC you're always making reference to anyway?
Oh, MC? Well, everybody knows MC. Well, she's I'll tell you what. Why don't I tell you the top 5 things about MC? At number 5, she's a girl. At number 4, she has lovely long hair. At number 3, she takes loads and loads and loads of photos of her own face, so she never forgets what it looks like. Number 2, you never have to listen to what she's saying because she's just going to keep talking anyway. And number 1, she keeps me company here in the shed, and that's really nice. And that's the top 5 things about MC!
MC sounds delightful.
Yeah, she's all right. Even though she did mess up today, you know what I mean? She made the old weather machine go all wonky, hence the fog everywhere.
The weather machine, the very reason I'm here.
Oh, well, you see, it's not really working right because, you see, MC was up and she was pedaling away, then she got really tired, you know what I mean? And now we've just got nothing to power it.
You can use the weather to power the machine. You use the wind that comes out of your weather machine, and then it'll go back in and power it, and it'll always work.
The weather machine creates the wind, and then the wind powers the weather machine. It's genius!
Precisely. And you could have a bit of fun with it as well.
What are you talking about now?
Let me show you. When your face is covered in hair, you will be easy mistook for a bear. The mean children might tease because you're covered in fleas, but they'll blow out of sight when you're holding a kite. Oh, 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 let's go fly a kite. MC is always right. Let's go fly a kite, 'cause cleanup's boring.
Oh, Mary, you're off. All right, see you later. Cool. Nice one, yeah. Oh, hey, MC.
Oh, hey, Martin. Not only did I get lost in the fog, I arrive in to all this stuff in my car. And this. I actually like this, so I might keep that. And then I nearly get blown halfway to Waterford. And why are you wearing that hat?
Oh, sorry, were you saying something? I wasn't listening. Oh, I fixed the weather machine.
Oh, yeah, I noticed, Martin.
Yeah, I wonder what it's going to do tomorrow.
You know what? I can't wait to find out. We'll see you then.
There you've got, can you? Uh-oh. Any ideas? Can you guess what I was trying to be there? Okay, we'll talk about that a little bit later on. Now, as you know, I absolutely love animals. And members of the animal kingdom come in all sorts of shapes and sizes. And there are so many species in the animal kingdom that we can learn about. But here's a word that you might have never heard when we're talking about living creatures. Ever heard of a vertebrate? A vertebrate animal is an animal that has an internal skeleton, check, and a backbone that supports them and allows them to move, check. Did you know that there are around 50,000 different species of vertebrates in the world? We have rodents, like rats or this little mouse over here, this little wicket. Then we have marsupials, like kangaroos, wallabies, or in this case, a koala. Then we have birds, like seagulls, robins, or in this case, crows. Have you ever heard a crow? Ah, 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 ah. They just roar. Then we have primates, like this orangutan, Other primates would be monkeys, lemurs, and even humans, just like us. So now I'm going to do an impression of this creature. Anyway, so if animals that have a backbone and an internal skeleton are vertebrates, well then shouldn't I have a big long backbone that goes from here all the way down to here, which just keeps me upright, and I'd be rigid, and I wouldn't be able to move my back, and I'd have to bend down like this? Is this a vertebrate? Well, no, not exactly. If that was the case, monkeys would be like this. And they wouldn't be able to bend down and pick branches or reach high and pick up leaves. You see, we have a backbone, or a spine, but it's not one big bone. It's made up of small bones on top of each other. And guess what these small bones are called? That's right, vertebrae. So these 33 vertebrae bones protect your back, but they also allow you to move, which is why I can floss and dance like it's going out of style, which it is. Now, let's move on to invertebrates. So, if a vertebrate is a creature with a backbone, what do you think an invertebrate is? Ding, 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 that's right. An invertebrate is a creature that doesn't have a backbone or an internal skeleton. Let's see if we can guess one. Don't look. What's it? A snake? Good guess. I can see why you think that a snake would be an invertebrate, but believe it or not, snakes are reptiles and they actually do have a spine. It's very mobile though, so they can get into all sorts of knots. As I mentioned, there are over 50,000 different types of vertebrates. So trying to think of an invertebrate sounds tricky enough. There are actually lots of them. Not only that, there are different types of invertebrates. I'm going to teach you another word, and the word is arthropod. So arthropods are insects, like ants, arachnids, like spiders, crustaceans, like crabs, and creepy crawlies with lots and lots of legs. You see, arthropods actually have a skeleton, but it's called an exoskeleton. And the exoskeleton is on the outside of their bodies. But I promise, the other invertebrates that I'm going to talk about are way more invertebrate-y. That's a funny word. So let's think of a few more. Creatures with no internal skeleton or backbone. Hey, I've got one. Jellyfish. They don't have a backbone, or any bones for that matter. Now, staying under the water, we also have sea sponges, and we also have starfish. They also don't have an internal spine. Now, you may think that it's difficult to come across an invertebrate in your day-to-day life, but to be honest, all you have to do is find some grass. Why? Well, because many invertebrates, like slugs or snails or worms, they all live in the ground near to where we live. So that's why I was doing the worm earlier on. You want to see it again? Try and do it with me. Don't hurt yourself. Here we go. I'm an invertebrate. I have no back. It just disappeared to the medium of dance. I've got a great idea. Why not send in your videos of you being an invertebrate? Or better yet, go out and take some pictures of some invertebrates that live near you. Slán! I'm an invertebrate, I got no back, I got no skeleton.